Good morning, guys, and welcome back. Sorry I've been away for so long. Brain stuff, and hold on, let me. It's not like I enjoy looking at my face, but I especially don't enjoy looking at it so off center. What in the world? Oh, it's how I'm sitting. Never mind. Hello. Can't start a video without something going weird. So, let me just jump straight into it. For the past. I want to say 4 years ish. I've been working on making my own custom version of all 13 primes. My goal was originally to finish before the Age of the Primes line started because I didn't want to really feel any sort of inspiration from that to do mine. I failed miserably. I did not make pretty much 3/4 of the goal in time. But I kept the rules. I didn't let Age of the Primes influence me at all, except knowing what I didn't want to do. Not saying anything against my Cronus, but I feel like he's not Minicon enough. Great little figure, I'm sure. I would love to grab one, but not my Cronus. He should have been in like a multi-pack with one of the other primes, honestly. But anyway, without, reviewing figures I don't have or talking about why I prefer my version of this figure over the official, let's just get to what today's is. I finally got the 13th Prime. Not the one people call the 13th Prime, but like literally my 13th. I got the last of the Primes for my project. We're gonna look at all the. I don't really want to call them drones because this isn't power core combiners, but like the robots that make the combiner. Anyway, obviously it's Nexus Prime if you haven't figured that out. I'm not going to do vehicle to robot to combiner mode for all of these because, well, simply put, screw that. These are great figures. I do intend to get at least a couple of these to have just as what they are. But as far as this whole combiner set goes, they're pretty much never going to not be combiner limbs. So, first off, we have one of the legs. I finally just got the foot properly transformed literally like 3 minutes ago. That was honestly, I don't know, it can't get much better than that. So, I don't remember what I've renamed any of these except for two of them. So, I'm not really going to be going over names. But this is the foot for the Nexus Prime Combiner. Here is the other one. I attempted, and please use that term loosely in this situation, attempted to repaint it to be like the colors from the original Nexus Prime Combiner from like 2004-ish. I don't remember what it's from. It was made of Energon figures, so it had to be 2004, but I don't know if that's I don't know if they were remade later on, or I don't know. It's supposed to be blue and red. I used magenta instead of red. It didn't do great. It looks good. It just didn't do what I was trying to do. So here's the other foot. The lower body is this guy. Let's put it together as we talk. So you take this and goes into the back of the leg here, like that. Straighten it up a bit. Take peg on the motorcycle, put in the back of the other foot, like that. Straighten it up a bit. Oh, I do believe he's actually. Oh, did he? Hold on. Oh, transforming that foot right did it. He's the right height now. I had this issue where the right leg was just a little bit taller than the left leg, and it was so annoying. Because he had to do this weird stepping pose. Not like a dramatic step forward, like I'm gonna attack, but like just I'm gonna step forward. No reason. It's just, it didn't look right. But now it works. He's the right height, like on both sides. Anyway, lower body, all done. Upper torso is this car that looks like it got into a head-on collision, but in a good way. That's quite a sentence, but oh well. So to add him on, I feel more comfortable lifting the chest plate and then attaching him. He's got two holes under here going onto these two Minicon looking ports. I think they're 5mm. I think. But I'm not gonna say for sure. And then chest plate goes down into place. And here we have everything but the arms. We're gonna set this aside for a while. Like, he temporarily doesn't exist because until he's finished, he doesn't. My setup is at a slant, so he's not gonna stand up at that height. So he's just gonna be chilling on my leg, digging a hole in it. That's fine. Hurts a little bit, but it's fine. Anyway, let's look at his weapon. It's massive. My head is obviously not small. This is taller than my head. This is tall. This is taller than my head by like a lot. This is a couple inches taller than my head. I'm not taking it apart to show you the individual pieces. It's a big sword. It goes slash or stab. I guess you could also smack someone with the broadside of it. Yeah, it's effective for slapping. I'm not going to hit myself any harder for several reasons. But, you know, if you need me to explain those reasons, I'm not gonna. You don't deserve that explanation if you can't figure it out for yourself. And here we come in with the big boy himself. This figure is the one that I have decided is the NEXUS Prime. This guy is the Prime himself. The others are just robots that combine with him to make the big NEXUS Prime. We are going to do vehicle to robot to combiner for this one because he's Nexus. That's what he does. Good spaceship. Good weapon storage. If you don't know this figure, you probably can't point out where his weapon is stored. Oh, it's right here. It's the front of the ship. You undo that. Good grief. Pull the handle down and weapon. Now onto the figure himself. We're going to transform him by pulling his... No, don't you come apart. Pulling his wing sections out as far as they'll go. Rotate him around like this so we can see his elbows. See, open the slots on his wrist to pull out his hands. That's not a wrist, that's a forearm. Anyway, yeah, do that. it's easier to get to it if you click it up a couple of clicks like that. Unfold the panel on his leg, shimmy that out, close the panel, rotate this around. We'll just pose him while we're at it. So one leg done. Do the same with the other. Close it up, rotate that. Fold down his chest to get to his head. I'm actually not sure how. Let me... We're gonna just split him apart, like combiner mode, for a second to get his head out, because that wasn't cooperating. Anyway, you fold his chest plate back up. Give him his weapon. And here we have Nexus Prime. Not combiner mode, but Nexus Prime. He's a good figure. He reminds me of someone. I can't place who, but there's a Transformer he reminds me of, and I think I like him better than the one he reminds me of. I just realized his legs are on backwards somehow. I think my fault. I don't think it's an assembly error. Let me... Oh, that's why his knees weren't cooperating. I did have his legs backwards. But as you can see, that's an easy fix. Just rotate. There we go. Now, to get him into combiner mode, we take his weapon, fold it all back up, open his forearms to put his hands back in. You're basically going to get him most of the way back to vehicle mode with a few extra things. Now, the thing about him is he splits in half to become arms, so it's just easier to split him. Fold his head down into his body like that. Rotate and collapse. Hold on, his landing gear got in the way. Rotate that back like vehicle mode. Rotate this around because it's got a thumb. Open up his inner leg panel again, and you pull out his big hand. Close the panel. And this side is done. You do the exact same for the other side, but there's a thing I do that's a little different. I still bring this around. Thumb goes up. But I attach his gun and then put the thumb down in the cavity there. You could also do... No, you can't do it that way. Never mind. Don't listen to that sentence. Yeah. So I do it like that, so he's got a weapon arm. And it is, as strange as this is going to sound, it is so much easier to give him his sword before you put his arms on the combiner. So there is a little tab there. It's on both sides, so I've got to figure out which one goes. There's a... In his hand, he's got that so he can hold it. They are not centered because the shape of his hand, so you've got to figure out which one is the smaller side. I think I just did it. Bring his thumb around, and he is now holding his sword. Now you take the big body of the combiner. These shoulders have a little bar piece that matches up with this. So you put that and then pose that, and then pose. Oh, I pulled that off instead of posing. I also moved the camera. Sorry about that. If I could stop pulling the arm off, that would be great. Bro, I'm just trying to move your elbow. There we go. Good enough. Make sure nothing else has popped loose, such as the car from the torso. And here we go. My NEXUS Prime. I forgot at the start of the video to tell you what figure this is that I used. This is a bootleg Wei Jiang Computron. It's about $30 to $50 depending on where exactly you get it. I got mine for about $30 because I found a good deal. And yeah, he is well worth it. And if the bootleg is this good, the official, I say official, it's a third-party figure. This is a bootleg of a third party, so it's a bootleg of a near bootleg. But yeah, if the bootleg is this good, the official third-party figure has got to be at least as good. Would I spend that much on it? Absolutely not. If I'm spending $200 and some on a combiner, I'm going to be buying, what you call him, the dude. The new guy, what's his name? I know him as Ruination. Bruticus. If I was going to be spending $200 and some on a combiner, I would just do Bruticus. But I don't want to do $200 on a combiner, especially in the colors that I don't really want. I'm a 2000s kid, 90s, 2000s, so I know him as Ruination from RID. I don't like his Bruticus colors. So I'm especially not spending $200 and some on him just because of that. But yeah, this is a good combiner. Very, very well worth it. There are some parts that are a little meh. And as long as you know what you're doing, everything is fine. He does not come with instructions. I had to watch a YouTube video. If I think about it, if my brain works with me, I will link that in the description. If not, I'm sorry, but you're on your own. I do intend to do that, though. I just gotta remember to. And that's not something I'm good at. Hold on, what does that do? No, that makes it ugly. Never mind. But yeah, this is my 13th Prime. This is NEXUS. I'm gonna try to stand him up so I can finish the video. Don't have a lot more to say, but I don't want to hold him the whole time. He is literally the size of a small infant. I think he's bigger than Unicron, or about the same size. Bro, can you stand? Can you stand on your own? If you fall back, I'm not going to be happy with you. Okay, he's going to stand on his own. So I am going to, over the next few weeks, make and post videos about my other 13 primes. Because if you saw the preview video I made for him, you would know, you would have seen that there were other Transformers that just had like little brief flashes. Those are my other primes. And, you know, if you're not me, you wouldn't know which one was which. So I'm going to make a video about each of them individually. I don't know if I'm going to do a full transformation video on some of them because they're a little bit involved. But yeah, I intend to show you those. And I'll talk about why each of those was chosen to be one of my primes. But thank you for your patience during my absence. I appreciate you coming back to see this. I hope you come back to see my other primes. And I will catch you next time. Have an amazing day.